Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we will have to present about technology integrated English for specific purposes lessons, real-life language, tasks, and tools for professionals. We are from Group 10, and my name is Satria.
My name is Sura.
And my name is Aditya Nugroho.
Okay, now let's go to the first slide. What is ESP? ESP, or English specific for specific purpose, is the teaching of English for any purpose that could be specified. For example, business or politics or something like that. So next, according to Dudley and Evans and St. John in 1998, there are absolute characteristics of ESP. The first is ESP is defined to meet specific needs of the learners. The second is ESP makes use of underlying methodology and activities of the discipline it serves. And the third is ESP is centered on the language, grammar, lexis, or register, study skills, discourse, and genre appropriate for these activities. And then the variable characteristic of ESP are the first, ESP may be related to or designed for specific disciplines. And then the second is ESP may use in specific teaching situation, a different methodology from that of general English. The third is ESP is likely to be designed for adult learners, either at tertiary level institution or in a professional work situation. It could, however, be for learners at secondary school level. And the last is ESP is generally designed for intermediate or advanced students. Most ESP courses assume some basic knowledge of the language system. The next, there are 14 benefits of technology used in ESP. Butler and Pesco stated that those advantages are: first, provides interaction and communicative activities representative of specific professionals or academic environments. And the second, fosters understanding of the socio-cultural aspect of the language as practiced in various fields and professions. And the third is provides comprehensible field-specific input and facilitates student production. And the fourth is provides self-learning strategies for language development and content-specific understanding, modeling, reaching to students' background experiences, contextualizing metacognitive activities, and etc. And then the fifth is uses test-based and inquiry-based strategies reflective of tests in discipline-specific settings and situations. And the sixth is uses authentic materials from specific disciplines and occupations. Then next, supplies authentic audiences, including outside experts in specific fields. The eighth is supports cognitive abilities and critical thinking skills required in the disciplines. And the ninth is uses collaborative learning. The 10th is facilitates focused practical for the development of reading, writing, listening, and speaking skills across the curriculum and disciplines. The 11th is student-centered and address specific needs of the students. The 12th is uses multiple modalities to support different learning styles. And the 13th is meets effective needs of students, motivations, self-esteem, and autonomy. And the 14th is provides appropriate feedback and assessment of content knowledge and English skills. Okay, the next. Technology for ESP. Actually, there are many different technologies that are successfully being used in ESP courses. But in this presentation, we will give an example that is Skype or Skyping. Skype. Okay. Skype is used in many different ways, or for formal or informal language learning and teaching. A search on the Skype community platform shows how many language courses, language chat groups, or conversation clubs. There are many teachers also offer online courses via Skype, which are often individually bookable lessons. There is also a special social media language courses and material integrating Skype of English out there there are the links, and then this English order can be used by online teachers or as self-study material by the teacher. Okay, the next. Here we have some case study. The study here is the English for politicians. So the students of this case is a mid-50s German politician in this who was at B1 level in his speaking skills when he started the course and has reached B2 level after 2 years. And the second is he is very confident, assertive, and extremely eloquent speaker of German, and is also confident when speaking English despite grammar or vocabulary mistakes. He decided he needed to improve his spoken English skills in order to be able to communicate without any ambiguity or stress for the listener in situation when he explains his social political position on topical issues or express his own ideas. And then some of the meetings are teleconferences, and interviews are conducted on telephone or other virtual conferencing tools, which are then streamed on television. So they use like media like television and Skype. Okay. So the course is a blend of 30 minutes online and 90 minutes face-to-face instruction per month, and is paid for by the government. And then the second, one teacher conducts the Skype lesson and another teacher the face-to-face session, so that the students is exposed to two different accents, US and British, and different teaching approaches. The blend of online and face-to-face sessions was chosen to give him practice in both models of communication in which he needs to speak English. So the German have two teachers. The first one is in the online, and the second one is by face-to-face. And then the materials and technology used is the internet news channel like CNN or BBC, and the English online version of the German political magazine. Their speakers are used to provide authentic content. The students determine the topics, which always revolve around topical political hot issues. And then the next is the types of activities and the technologies that are used for. The first is Skype, of course. With and without camera, is used to stimulate telephone or video interviews and teleconferences. And then it also needed the chat function that is used for protocol to record correction and feedback by the teachers. At other time, this function is used to give written prompts when the students is searching for words while speaking, and that simulates a teleprompter. And however, seeing the teacher while giving a correction could become a distraction because the students might try to see what the teachers try to correct. So it will disturb them. And then one way of allowing for distraction-free speech is to record the Skype session, and after the statement, the teacher and students listen to the recording and discuss it together. And then Skype is also used in this course to simulate phone interview. In case the politician provides the teacher with a set of questions without a chosen topic. And then the next is usability and constraints of technology. So Skype is very intuitive and easy to use, and does not normally require any training. The Skype services in this course are free. It does, however, require a fast internet connection. So, especially when the video is used and the video quality, which normally is good, can vary considerably at certain times when the service is used by many people at the same time. Okay, next is attitudes of students and institutions towards the technology. So, being a very busy politician who has exactly 120 minutes per month allocated for the English course, and not being particularly technology savvy, the student understands the needs of using technology, especially because he needs to be familiar with some digital technologies professionally, as well, but would not be prepared to spend time learning how to use sophisticated learning. He was already familiar with Skype. That is why the teacher here used Skype as their learning tool. The next material will be delivered by Mr. Adit. Mr. Adit, time is yours.
Alright, thank you for the time. So next, I would like to present the internet. As we know, the internet with the widespread use of ICT, most ESP students can now find language materials for their needs, and then interact with their professional community or with other learners in the field online. The internet and the various tools that are available that can also help learners to become more autonomous and allow them to monitor their learning. Then many English teachers now use the internet in their courses. So set off online homework and use it to find materials and ideas for their lessons. Even if only occasionally, some have become online. Some of them become online teachers. Others also use it for their professional development as a virtual chat room to connect with colleagues around the world, share ideas, participate in webinars or conferences, and then or write and read blogs. Next. And then next is learner autonomy. Students can also use the internet for self-study purposes without the need of a teacher. And then, however, without the guidance of a teacher, only the most motivated students, perhaps those who already have a higher level of English, will be able to make good use of the resources available in order to improve their language skills. Technology itself does not bring about autonomy, but with the appropriate support, guidance, and training and scaffolding, it can help learners to gradually become autonomous. And then, a place for authentic communication. The internet is authentic not only because of the authenticity of the language that can be found, but also authentic as a place which is very important in situated learning approach, according to which the socio-cultural setting has an influence on the learning and its outcome. So the more learning situation and activities resemble in the students' real-life situation and tasks, the more students will be motivated to learn, and the more relevant the learning will be. Next. And the next is case study 4.2, that is business English. The students. 3 students aged 40 till 55 who are managers in a learning organization which has a focus on knowledge production and management, and which provides services to international customers. And then the company is working on transforming its work environment and into a powerful learning environment. Given the organization's focus, the managers participating in the course need to generate new knowledge by exchanging and enriching existing knowledge. This takes place primarily in English. And then the learners, being busy managers, it is important for the teacher to develop activities that help them make the most of the time they can devote the English to enjoy the experience and to get the positive outcomes. Then the learner's motivation is higher when the activities and the content are relevant to their lives. Being familiar with the content additionally helps them to focus more on details. And then the context. The course is a blend of a face-to-face component which takes place at organization and an online component. It is very compulsory, but employers are encouraged to participate. And then it is about the material and technology used. The majority of the audio and written text are authentic materials from the organization itself. A mix of technology such as an educational platform, Skype, email, and virtual conferencing room are used. And then the internet is also used to introduce the students tools such as online dictionaries. Next is types of activities that the technology and materials are used for the relevance of the learners. First, the activities and technology are based on the real-life needs of learners and are used to simulate situations in which they have to use English. And for example, if the managers need to give presentation in English, they prepare and give on the lesson, and which is recorded in order to be watched together later to give feedback and language use and other presentation skills. And the conference can call simulations are held using Skype, as this is the tool which is used by the company for some posts. Feedback is provided while listening the recording. And next is to simulate webinars and online meetings. And same virtual room is used. Students use for work. To practice email writing and to other types of activities, educational platform is used. And the last is students are also shown that what kind of tools are available in them online. For example, dictionaries and how they can use them in order to help them become more autonomous learners. Then the next is the usability and constraints of the technology. Most of the tools, services, and platforms that are used in this course ask for account creation at the beginning and signing in whenever they are used. Now, the online education platform asks for a fee per student per month. Teacher can either use ready-made materials and made available for the platform or create their own. And then most of the other tools do not change any fees. And the managers participating in this course are relatively adept at using the technologies in this course because they use technology at work, and some of the tools are same as at work. They use at work. Next is firewalls can also sometimes be an issue, which is why technologies which are used by organization are chosen whenever possible. Permissions of the IT department had to be sought to install Skype and some other tools. Next is attitudes of students and institutions towards the technology. As the way technology is used in class is very similar to how it is used by students at work, as they therefore understand the purpose and see how it can help them in their real life tasks, and they accept using it. And having said that, these particular learners do value human interaction and would therefore not want a fully online course. So the online component is used to reinforce what was learned in class and stimulate work situations in which they have operate in English on the net. And then next is about the collections of tools. Besides offering a wealth of authentic materials, and being a place where communication takes place. The internet also provides even growing range tools for some task communication, sharing, networking, designing, and creating materials. Examples of tools, they are blogging platforms such as blog and WordPress, and then podcasting services, for example, Podomatic, and then videos, slides, and images. You can see on YouTube, Flickr, Vimeo, and SlideShare, and learning management systems. You can see at Moodle, and social networking tools, Twitter, Facebook, something like that, and or other alternative educational use like online class, for example, Edmodo, and 3D virtual worlds such as Second Life. And then the case study 4.3 will be delivered by Phil.
Okay, thank you. I will continue the materials, the case study about English for advertising. So, English is for advertising is blended 18 week or 1 semester elective course students in their third year can take for 2 credits. The course participants are aged between 25 and over 30, and there are around 32 on each course. Second, the level of English of the students is quite good because they have been studying English since primary school. The third, they are all professionals with daytime jobs, and therefore studying at college is a demanding task. They usually choose this course because it has relevance to their professions. For example, business administration, marketing and sales, and international trading. And then the context. English for advertising is a blended 18-week or 1 semester elective course students in their third year can take for 2 credits. The course has 3 main aims. First, to familiarize students with basic advertising concepts. Second, to allow students to implement in practice what they have learned by introducing print, radio, and television commercials, and by doing so. The third, to improve their English language skills. And then the materials and technology used. The following Web 2.0 tools are used, which are Yahoo Groups, a blog, PowerPoint, SlideShare, Google Docs, document archiving service. For example, thinkfree.com. On the video first, example, lib.tv and YouTube. Offline tools, digital audio and video recorders, media player, editing software such as Windows Movie Maker, other types of multimedia tools. And then the types of activities, the technologies, and materials are used for and their relevance for the learner. The first is Yahoo Groups. Yahoo Groups is an online discussion platform that can be accessed online or via email and is used as an online learning platform for discussions and general course communication, and to achieve goals such as learning materials and course syllabi. At the same time, it helps build rapport among students and between them and the teacher. The second is the class blog serves as a publishing platform to present students' work to a wider audience and as a portfolio. Additionally, it is used by the teacher as a place to publish certain learning materials which students use in or outside the classroom. The third, some student or teacher created materials like images, PowerPoint slides, or video need to be uploaded to a special service before they can be embedded in a blog. For this purpose, SlideShare.com, Google Docs, and Lib.tv or YouTube are used. The last and the fourth, by connecting the Yahoo group email address With the blog, students get automatic notifications when there is a new blog publication. And then, the digital media and tools used offline on the computer are used to create radio and television commercials. Transferring and sharing files is made easy because of the digital format. And then, producing commercials is a task that demands good collaboration among students in order to be successfully accomplished, which helps the students to learn through interacting with each other. And then the next step is to implement the creative education. In this stage, students engage in copywriting, preparing the storyboard for television, producing the advertisement, and writing their report paper. The third stage is the presentation, where they present their final project. And then the final stage is the assessment, where students are evaluated based on the quality of their presentation, report paper, and the collaborative execution of their project. And then, throughout the process, students use the English language to learn the content while learning how to use it to communicate or express their ideas. Okay, the next is course and technology evaluation. Task assessment is done using the student's report paper, audio or video commercial materials, a scoring rubric given during the workshop, and notes taken during the presentations. The feedback I provide is based on the criteria stipulated on the scoring rubric and how successfully the students met the task requirements, both technical and language skills, and the overall quality of their commercials. After that, usability and constraints of the technology. So, compared to their other case studies, especially the first one, this course employs wide range of online and offline tools. This means that students need some training in using them. Although being young professionals, they might be familiar with at least some of them. Given the duration of the course and the aims of the course, which include learning how to produce advertisement, a short technical training workshop seems justifiable and acceptable for the students. And then, attitudes of students and institution towards the technology. The students had to write to report based on 7 questions, one of which was about the technology used in the course. According to some of the comments, the students thought that it was fun to learn something new, to be able to create a short film by using IT, and easy to handle. Another student commented that by practicing to be a good voice-over, we can enhance our fluency of speaking. By writing scripts for TV and radio commercials, we can enhance our writing skills and creativeness. And the next is mobile learning. Mobile technologies have not been integrated in any of the case studies. Many business students will have a mobile phone plan, often paid for their employer, that allows them to access the internet or send short messages without incurring any extra cost. The next is challenges of technology used in ESP. In all their case studies in this chapter, the courses are designed taking a blended learning approach. There is a mix of face-to-face and online learning and of synchronous. Example like Skype, video conferencing rooms, and asynchronous. For example, discussion groups, blogs, learning management systems, communication tools. According to research into ESP blended learning, careful planning and integration of online and face-to-face components are important. And for the conclusion, whether they like technology or not, the ESP teacher teachers today cannot afford not to integrate technology into their courses because the technology plays an essential role in their learners' everyday professional lives, in which they need digital and electronic literacy skills to communicate internationally across cultural borders using different media, and to become autonomous learners who can keep up the fast-paced professional world. ESP teachers might be less prone to this because they generally focus more on their learners' needs and are more aware of the limited time and busy schedules they have. Even if they were not, their students would most probably be reluctant to use technologies they would see as a waste of time or too difficult to use. Therefore, ESP teachers will mostly practice what a critical technology-informed pragmatism. In ESP, as we can see from the case studies, the reason for using technology is not only or always because it makes learning the language more effective or efficient, but also because it can offer tools that stimulate real-life work situation, while giving students the opportunity to acquire and practice essential 21st century professional skills. That's all for our presentation. Oh, I will give.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So this is the end of our presentation. Thank you for having us. And if you have any questions, you may write down the questions and deliver the questions to us. Thank you. Goodbye.